Hello, everyone, and welcome one more time to Live with Intelligems, a live show where we go live every Thursday and talk with leaders in the e-commerce and growth experimentation space to talk about what's working, what's not working, and everything in between. Today, I couldn't be more excited about having our friend Dave, who was proclaimed the king of the blue bars on X Twitter. Because if you're not following Dave yet, and you should, he's constantly posting about some of his test results and experiences. But what I like the most is that he does it with like explaining what's behind of each execution, which is something I think practitioners appreciate and get inspired by. So without further ado, Dave, thanks for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the introduction, man. I couldn't have said it better.
Awesome. So with the topic for today is what I consider a fascinating one because Dave is on the agency space. He's running Central Labs, which is an agency that specializes in growth experimentation, CRO. But Dave is also launching a brand like pretty much as we speak. So
Yep.
I'm super curious about learning more about your journey there. But before that, obviously, I would love you to introduce yourself and tell us more about uh, how you ended up doing growth experimentation for brands. And obviously, I expect that to lead into how you ended up getting inspired to launch your own brand.
Oh, 100%. So yeah, my name is Dave Diederen. I run Central Labs, a CRO agency. And it all started like basically 14 years ago when I started development. I think like 14, 15 years ago at this point. It's like a long time ago. And I just started screwing around with development, had my jobs at local agencies, all these things. And then at some point I was like, hold up, like I'm doing all this stuff, client management, development, meetings for like clients, like why don't I do it for my own clients? So then I just dropped the ball, dropped the job, dropped university. I dropped out of university as well, like almost right away to go full time on my own business. And now I've been running my own agency for like 6 years, 6.5 years, which funnily enough ties now back into starting my own brand because I'm like, if I run basically all the stores for all these other brands, why can I not do it for myself? So like it's this like to continuous loop where I'm like constantly working on something. I do it over and over again. I get decently good at it, I would say. And then I'm like, you know what? If I'm doing it for other people, why can I not do it for myself? So that's how we ended up here, man.
Nice. Tell us more about your experience doing CRO and experimentation for all these brands. I mean, you've definitely posting constantly about this, and you're a big fan of like high velocity testing and getting those brands to test as often as possible. You also offer some interesting models in terms of like fixed pricing and kind of like very straightforward engagements. So tell us more about the way you approach this with those brands that work with Central Labs.
I think like I just look at a brand and I'm like, most winners that I see are like the simplest test ever. They're like changing the copy here, hiding an element, showing an element, like just like simple things. Like that's why we launch so much volume and why I can post so much is because like I think on average right now we're testing like 5 to 10 tests a day. So like I have so much data every single day coming in, even with these small things like I have battles with clients and they're like, dude, you're out of your mind. Why are we going to run this? And I'm like, just like bear with me. Let's test it out, see what happens. And then they see a CVR spike of like 10%. They're like, okay, never mind. We're never gonna like, question you anymore. So like that's why like I keep posting these things because I feel like people feel always the need that they need to do only big swings, like new offers, new layouts, new PDPs, completely new advertorials. And I always tell people when they hop on a call with me or like when I post on Twitter or wherever, I tell people like just focus on the smaller things as well. Like if you have the traffic, if you have the order volume, just don't waste 2 weeks in like developing some completely new page, but just start optimizing the things that you already have. Like add more social proof, add a shipping timer, add like all these small things. They just compound over time.
That's true, and actually, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because one of the things that we strive for at Intelligems is is inspiring people to think just beyond those small tweaks and improvements, and think more broadly about their unit economics and which levers they can pull to unlock new growth. However, this goes alongside just doing that you're mentioning, like we say, and obviously this is an overstatement in some cases, that you should do it on autopilot. That is like thinking on the big swings shouldn't stop you from constantly iterating and compounding learnings for your business. And I would say that you should live in both places at the same time. What's fascinating,
100%.
and I know you have some recent experiences with that, is that uh, just standing up those ideas that are technically simpler and probably more related to the actual just ways in which things are just shown. It's just getting easier and easier. And with AI, and I cannot resist
Wow.
mentioning the AI visual editor of Intelligems here, you can go from idea to test in like literally minutes. You have some recent
Yeah.
experiences with that, so tell
Yeah.
us more about that, and how do you get to put those tests on autopilot to, I guess, to an extent?
Yeah, I mean, like we often test like product images, like, and one of the biggest challenges with those tests is like testing them. Like it's just setting them up. The technicality behind it, it's like one of the biggest challenges. Like usually we had to set up either a completely new template with a new product image gallery hard coded in it, or we had to duplicate like the product that we use and then just change the images or add an image or whatever. And then yesterday, a brand that we worked with was like, "Hey, I want to add an image between the first and second image." I was like, "Well, we can do two things. I just came off a meeting with Intelligems. We can use the AI, or we duplicate the live product and do a URL split. That's not my preferred method, but like, like we can try." And he immediately said, like, "Okay, if we're gonna do a URL, screw that, then we're not gonna test it." So I was like, let me just give the AI a shot. Like it's my first time like actually diving into it a little bit more. Let me try it. And then I think within like 5 to 10 minutes, it was like completely set up. It took like the image from the content backend on the store. It added a second image in between the first and original second image, and also added it in between the actual thumbnail gallery as well. So like I was surprised. I expected at least something. I expected, okay, it would be good, but I honestly didn't expect it to be this good. Like I was genuinely impressed.
Nice. I don't know if it was only me, Dave, but you broke a bit while explaining. I guess that test. Do you mind repeating the quick summary of what you were trying to achieve?
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, I was trying to implement like a new product image in between the first and the second product image. So usually you have like one, two, three. My client wanted to be like basically one, 2.0, and then three, like the 2.0 being a new image. So like usually, obviously, I had to always. I don't know. Did I also cut out with like the explanation of like how we used to set it up, or?
Just please repeat it, just in case.
Got you, got you. I mean,
Sometimes
usually
I
what
don't know
we
if
do.
it's my internet or just yours, so better just
I
to
all good.
iterate on
Yeah,
that.
100%. No, so like usually back in the day, we would have to like either duplicate the product or like we had to create like hard code like templates or whatever. And like it's huge, like it's not the greatest way to test them in my opinion, because obviously URL redirects. I try to stay away from as much as possible, especially with meta and like the pixels and everything. It's not the greatest thing. So I just went to my client and I'm like, okay, like we've got two options. We're gonna duplicate the product, we're gonna launch a URL split test and like change the product images on that duplicated product, or we're just gonna play around with the AI of Intelligems and see if it actually can pull it off because it just told me how good it is, and I actually want to test it out myself. And then like within the client was like, dude, I don't want to do this URL split test thing. Like just like, and it was already pulling out. It was like, okay, let me play around with Intelligems then. And yeah, that's like, it took me 5 minutes, I think 5 or 10 minutes. It was set up and it was perfect. And now it's just running. It's like amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say this is only the beginning. We will get more, like we'll get there, and to even like more complex executions. To an extent, I think the limit is just your creativity and imagination. So where I'm going with this is that, um, testing those things that you should just be testing all the time, it's becoming easier and easier, and something that you will be missing out on if you're not, I guess, paying attention as a brand and as an operator. So this idea of like always be testing was never as feasible as it is today. uh yeah, that's great to know, Dave. And in terms of like, I guess that the main topic, what that we decided to take for the day, you've been collecting all this intelligence for years, like running tests, learning what works, learning what creates hype but doesn't always deliver. Like, you've been exposed to a lot of data, and by a lot of data, I don't only mean the traditional kind of like data that brands are exposed to, but data on what creates causality and what actually works and moves the needle on certain industries or certain stores, on certain audiences, keeping in mind that everything not everything translates into like other areas or sites. Where do you get to make the realization that you could just run your own brand and put all of this knowledge into practice for and to run your own show? And I guess one question that some people would have is, are you stopping with the agency anytime soon?
Yeah, that's like, my clients are scared. Like, some of them were like, "Are you going to drop me?" And I told them like, "Probably not. I just love experimenting too much. Like, I just like if I just have my own brand, like there's only a certain amount of things that I can do, and I just want to like keep learning, keep doing. I just love it too much. So like, probably the agency will still be there. But like, yeah, I was just like, I have like very successful friends in the space. I obviously work with brands that do like 20, 30 million a month. Like, we have very successful brands that we work with, and like, I treat my clients more so as like friends. Like, I don't like these like official corporate like relationships. I like to be just like, like, I'm someone, I curse a lot, so I curse a lot in the Slack channels. I just say the weirdest stuff ever. So like, I just have a whole different bond with my clients. And then at some point, a lot of clients were also like, "Dude, why the fuck are you not creating your own brand? Like, you're doing all of this for us. You're like seeing all these things. You're like doing so much." And I've been thinking about it for like so long. And I was always too scared. I was like, if I start a brand, it's going to be unprofitable. I always see it on Twitter. Everyone is unprofitable for like 2 or 3 months. I don't want to lose money for that long, etc., etc. And then like, luckily, once again, I have very good friends that offered to help me with like this whole journey, like set me up with the right partner, set me up, like help me through the starting stages. And that just got me to a point where I'm like, screw it, like, now is the time to try it. Now is the time, with especially AI and everything, to set everything up, to get up and running, and to just like see what I can do for myself.
And I'm curious, like along this journey, I think your brand is about to launch. It's probably not non-disclosed yet, but along the journey of like setting everything up and like, I guess, dealing with like creatives and packaging and supply chains and logistics and 3PLs and everything in between, because there's a lot to deal
It's
with when launching a
overwhelming.
brand. Where do you think like being an experimenter has been like an unfair advantage? It's like, I have this knowledge thanks to all these experiments I've run, and that's making me see things from a different perspective.
I mean, I think it comes down to label, like the label design. I know exactly, like, okay, what do people want to see? What do they care about? Like, what is going to actually pull the lever? So, like, that's what I focus probably an entire day on. And yeah, it's just something that, like, yeah, I just think I have an not unfair advantage in, but like, just like that, I know, like, hey, this will convert. Also with the creative side, like, I have like once again, friends that like showed me what to do and showed me how to do it. And like obviously since I've did listicles, advertorials, PDPs and everything, I know how I need to write copy in order to convert people. So now I'm super curious. I might be telling this now and I can get absolutely, I'm getting smacked by Meta like when I go live with the ads, but like I just like to tell myself now at this stage that like I probably know enough that I know how to write these ads, also with the help of AI, of course, because like that just like it's just such a big part of that whole process. But like it's definitely there, I think, as well, that there's an unfair advantage. And obviously when it comes to the website itself, I think like that's like the biggest one. Like everyone's telling me like, dude, your website is going to be insane, this and that. And that's also one of the reasons why I don't want to like tell too much or say too much about the brand, because like people are going to search it up, people are going to look at it, people are going to judge it and all these things. And I just like to stick a little bit more on the low key side of things, like let it do its thing, see what happens, and all these things. Because trust me, when it came to the website, it took me way too long to develop it out. Like everything I was looking at, and I was like, if someone from an outsider perspective looks at this, what do they think of me? I was literally in the wrong mindset. So yeah, it's like
Yeah, I think
there was a go
it's
ahead.
funny you mention that, because I think, and speaking from personal experience, it's also easy to get blocked by all
Yes.
that knowledge. Like there's some kind of like,
Yeah.
I guess it's called knowledge curse, or like something when you like know so much that instead of like making progress enthusiastically, you just get blocked because many things might not be done in the best possible way. And how have you dealt with that? Like knowing
Oh,
all what you know, how do you just strive for like done, not perfect, if applicable?
it's just at some point I was like, screw it. I was talking to like three friends. I'm like, dude, like it's not like I'm getting stuck. I'm like, I know this works, I know this works, I know this works, I know this works, and I know like I'm like, and I know this design format works, but like my audience is this and blah blah blah. I'm like, like all these information overloads, and I truly felt like I was someone just discovering CRO. Like it was so weird. I felt like a complete newbie. I was like, what is going on? So at some point, I was just like, screw this. Like, if I'm going to dwell over this and like try to make it perfect, like, I'm very aware that, like, and I tell every client that I work with as well, in the beginning stages, ad creatives, and all these things play like 90% of the role. Like, the website is nice in the beginning, but like, it's like, it doesn't play the biggest part yet. It's just like, get the traffic to the website. If it looks decent and the ad did a good job, they'll convert anyway. But like that's what the mentality that I had as well. I was like, you know what, screw it. Like I'm just gonna finalize it, leave it as it is right now. Don't do too much in like the depth copy because I don't have data yet. Like I was making all these decisions and like I'm like to myself, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You don't even have any practical data yet. You're basically in the beginning stage, you're guessing. Like I could make the prettiest, best performing, like best converting PDP in the beginning, but it could absolutely flop because like I could have targeted the wrong audience with like my whole talking, and the ad creative that's taking off is like completely different. Like
Totally.
so that's when I was like, dude, I just gotta like finish it off and just get it off.
So a lot of people in the industry, in the e-com space, just minimize CRO as just like tweaking your site,
Yeah.
and like kind of like ignoring that there's a full set of other kind of activities and opportunities and channels that you need to pay attention to. How do you think like those all those learnings from being mostly on working on the websites translate into these other areas? Because like I'm a firm believer that when you do website testing in the correct manner, you should be gathering insights and the intelligence to connect the dots in different directions, like not only for the actual moment where people are on the site, but also for like your acquisition initiatives, your retention initiatives, and so on. So what's your experience on that? And I guess, have you had any kind of insight regarding this, and when going through this process of getting everything in place?
Yeah, I mean, like I think like one of my friends said like just focus on image native ads. He was like, just do them, like just keep it simple. It's been like he's like, it's what drives millions of revenue for us. And I'm like, wait. I was overthinking it once again. I have so much data. I'm overthinking everything. So like I told he shared his library with me, and I look at it, and I'm like, this is it. Like this is all I have to do. He's like, yes, that is generally all you have to do. I was like, dude, this is basically just an advertorial in ad format. Like that's all there is to it. So like I was like, dude, like I can do this. Like and this was today. This was this morning. So like I was like working on ad creatives and being creative and like graphic designs and all these things. And he's like, dude, scratch all that. Just do an image, write a good ad, and that's all you have to do. I was like, well, okay, like like that's how it translated. I'm like, if that's how simple it is, it's simpler than people think it is. Like I think when it comes to everything, also with website testing, once again, it's like so much simpler than people think it is. Like people steer away from the CRO part as well, but they don't realize that if they make like a 20% increase in CVR, like depending on like their revenue and everything, that could unlock an additional 30K in ad spend as well, because the profits went up, their like AOV went up, like everything went up. And that just translates into all the other channels as well. And I think like that's what most people don't think about. They're like, okay, I'm running on a 2% CVR, I'm spending 50K a day, I'm doing fine. But if they go to like a 2.2% CVR, that's like a significant increase. Like all of a sudden they can spend like another 4 to 5 figures more on acquisition costs. So I think like that's where like people kind of forget what's all connected. Like it's all connected with each other, like the acquisition, the conversion, like everything. So I think like that's how people also kind of need to look at it a little bit more, as in like just seeing it by themselves, like just acquisition, just testing, just this. I think people should see them as in like, okay, I'm acquiring customer, it costs me this much. If I start testing on my website, I improve my AOV, I improve my profitability, I can spend more on my acquisition, and then I can just repeat that cycle over and over and over again until I'm on like 7, 8 figures a month. And then they're like, so this is what I had to do. So I think like people need to wake up a little bit from that, like, I think like dream, or like just like from that like misunderstanding of like, it's just testing. It's like it compounds literally everything in your business.
A tricky one though. What changes when it's your own store and your own money in the mix? You're definitely not
Yeah.
testing on somebody else's money,
Yeah.
but with yours.
I
So
saved a
what's the
lot of cash
mental
before I
game
did
there?
this. Yeah, I saved a lot of cash before I did this. Like I'm Dutch, like I'm super frugal. Like I don't spend money on anything. So that's also why I've been putting it out for so long. I was like, I don't want to spend 5 to 10K in the first month just to potentially burn through that money. And now I'm in such a fortunate position that I literally save 90% of the money that I make just goes into a bank account, and I just keep there. Like just let it sit there. Like that's all I do. And that's why I'm so comfortable right now that I can like do like I can test now, and like it wouldn't hurt me financially, thankfully. Like once again, I'm so grateful to be in that position. But it took me like more than a year to get to this position, to like be so comfortable with my own money to just like start investing it. But then again, like I'm doing the start completely different probably than 9 out of 10 people would do. Like I immediately went with my custom formulation, custom label, custom this. Like I really made my own brand, which a lot of people told me you should do, and a lot of people told me like just start drop shipping with just like like just to get a proof of concept going. So yeah, if I didn't have this cash and I was tight on cash, I would have done it differently. I would have been like, okay, I'll find the product from Alibaba or whatever. I'll start drop shipping. I'll start like like doing these things so that I don't have to have my own supply and everything. But yeah, now I'm just like in once again this fortunate position where I can just like play around a little bit with my own cash and risk it, quote unquote.
We're curious at this point, Dave. Which niche are you getting into, and for which geographies, if you can share? I acknowledge.
If you start a brand, you have to be in subscriptions, man. You have to be. Like it's the only way I've seen brands make real money is subscription-based brands. So like that's the route I'm going as well. And then obviously I'm going to target US first. Like I'm just going to go to the big one. I'm going to go US first. And once again, that's just because I have friends like assisting me, helping me, guiding me, like literally every single day. So I'm very comfortable with the things that I'm doing. So yeah, that's like the starting one.
That's amazing. So what the timeline looking like for you in the upcoming weeks and months? Because you're not live yet, but you should be
Yeah.
at some point soon. Is that right?
I hope a couple of days. Yeah. I hope a couple of
Wow.
days. Yeah.
Well, please keep us posted.
I will.
I know you'll make great use of all the knowledge you have and Intelligems as well on your store. But I think this idea it's something that a lot of people in the space get inspired by. Of like, I know more than enough that I should just start running my own show and in this case start my own brand. So I definitely respect you for that and congratulate you for the bravery there and just giving it a shot. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a huge success,
Fingers
and we're gonna
crossed.
be here to support you along the process and to learn more about your journey.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Awesome. Dave, this was a great conversation. Definitely looking forward to a follow up later in the year once you're more established with your brand. Before we wrap up from the day, any final remarks or any kind of like messages that you have for somebody on the same path and potentially thinking about doing something similar as what you're about to do with your brand launch?
Just go for it. Like, stop overthinking, just go for it. If I started at the time that I actually this thought came into my mind, I would have probably already been at like 6 figures, 7 figures monthly revenue. So like, just start with it. Like, I have so many people that I talk to now as well, like here in person, online, and everywhere. They're like, oh, I wish like maybe I should do it too. Like, I have this friend that does it. Like, I should probably do it too. Blah blah. I'm like, just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You tried, you lost a little bit of money, and then like what? Like, like then you're gonna like you're I don't like once again, like I don't want to be a person that runs around and thinking like, what if? Like, what if I did this? What if I did that? I'm the type of person I want to be like, at least I tried this, at least I tried that. So like that's what I try to give people as well. I'm like, just try it, man. Like, just like, even if it's like 500 euros for like the first month, like a very low level introduction, just risk it and go for it. Skip the bar for a month, skip like Netflix, skip all these things and just go all in.
Yeah, that's what an experimenter does. So you're definitely an experimenter at heart. Dave, I'm really grateful of having you joining us at Live with Intelligems. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll be on the lookout to see how that comes along.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Until the next time, my
Until the next
pleasure.
time.
Bye bye.
Thank you, brother. Take care. Bye bye.